Welcome to Cooking with William, where today we're going to be cooking chicken parmesan. Chicken parmesan starts with a good sauce, so we're going to want to warm a large skillet over medium-high heat. Once that skillet heats up, we're going to want to pour in a few tablespoons of high-quality olive oil, to which we're going to add about a half of a chopped onion and a whole chopped carrot. Season that with some black pepper and then cook until it starts to slightly brown but not fully caramelize, at which point we can add our full can of crushed tomatoes. Go ahead and stir that around to fully combine the flavors before adding a few bay leaves and then letting that simmer for 30 minutes or up to 4 hours. Now we can start preparing our chicken. I'm going to take a whole boneless, skinless chicken breast and then cut it through the middle. I'm going to be basically butterflying it but going all the way through, so I have 2 thin slices of a breast. This might be hard at first, but you'll get the hang of it very quickly. Go ahead and place your 2 chicken cutlets in between 2 pieces of plastic wrap that will help protect it from the harsh hammer we are going to use to flatten out these breasts. If you do not have a hammer, feel free to use the bottom of a heavy skillet. The goal is to just thin them out so they cook faster and more evenly, as well as tenderize them. They should look like this, at which point you can season them on one side only since they're so thin with kosher salt and fresh ground black pepper. Go ahead and pat that seasoning in and set aside. Go ahead and season all of your cutlets before moving on to the next step. Now we're going to set up our breading station, which starts with a few cups of all-purpose flour, some fine sea salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and some onion powder. Go ahead and whisk that together just to combine it. Then we need to work on our egg mixture. This is going to be about 3 cracked eggs and a splash of milk. Go ahead and whisk that together until no streaks remain. Finally, we're going to have a mixture of panko breadcrumbs, which are really crispy and fry up well, along with some fresh Parmesan. Go ahead and add as much as you like. I added about a full cup. To bread the chicken, we are going to start it in the flour mixture. Go ahead and place that in there and move it around so that all of it is covered. You do not want any bald spots. Shake off any excess flour and move it into the egg wash. These eggs are going to bind with the flour and become a sort of glue so that when we place it into the panko mixture, it sticks very well. I like to place it in the panko mixture and sort of bury it with the breadcrumbs and then push down very hard. I use both hands and put my full body weight into it because you really want the breadcrumbs to stick. Go ahead and do that to both sides so that it's fully covered in the panko Parmesan mixture. Set that aside while you work on the rest of your chicken cutlets. While you're finishing the breading, preheat about a quart of oil in a large cast iron skillet to about 350 to 375 degrees. Place in your chicken cutlets just like this. Make sure you adjust your heat as necessary so it's not too hot or too cold. Flip the chicken often until it gets a nice golden brown crust just like this. Let it rest on a paper towel for a few minutes before moving it to a baking sheet. Once all of your chicken is done, go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of fresh basil on top, and then a protective layer of mozzarella cheese as well as some fresh Parmesan. I am adding the cheese directly to the chicken, which is a trick I learned from binging with Babish. It helps keep the chicken nice and crispy and it doesn't get soggy from the tomato sauce. Once you have fully covered your chicken with cheese, place it under a hot preheated broiler until it starts to get golden brown and bubbly. While this is happening, I like to make a little side pasta. This is pasta I made in last week's video. Go check that out if you want to learn how to make it, or just use store-bought. We're going to heat this up on a low heat and add a few spoonfuls of our tomato sauce that we made for the chicken parmesan, as well as a splash of the reserved pasta water. Go ahead and mix that together until it's fully coated with the sauce, and add a few tablespoons of butter and some fresh shaved Parmesan cheese. This is a really simple yet delicious pasta, and tossing it just really helps emulsify all of those flavors into a delicious creamy tomatoey sauce. Go ahead and taste for seasoning and add kosher salt and fresh black pepper as needed. By this time your chicken should be done, the cheese should be fully melted, and there should be brown and black bubbly burnt spots all over. Go ahead and plate that up and top with your fresh tomato sauce that you've been simmering away all day. Go ahead and plate up your pasta right next to it. This is a great side dish because it's light but has similar flavors to the chicken Parmesan. I like to garnish it with a little bit of fresh Parmesan cheese and some of my chopped basil from earlier. After all of that, you have chicken Parmesan. This meal is absolutely delicious and I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy this video. Please remember to like and subscribe and also share it with your friends. It really makes a huge difference if this video is shared to people. I really like to keep doing this, but I need people to watch it. So thank you. Have a great day.